So whenever you get the scripture prior to a sermon for reading, study them during the week and let the Lord speak to your heart. Now you're not going to hear God if you're listening to something else. Amen. Amen. You know, when we are home, we are so busy doing this and doing that we think is more important than anything else. But when God intervenes, you need to deny self and hear God. Amen. Amen. Even in this setting, amen, don't focus on me. Focus on the word. Yes. Amen. So that God may speak to your heart. Now don't listen so tentative that you can't hear God. Amen. We always talk about God is first in my life. Prove it. Prove it. God intervened when it's his time to speak to you. Yes. And when he does, it's not what you have in your mind. That's why it's required faith from you. And that faith can only come after you heard what God said. So listening is very important in order to hear God, so I can have the faith that I need to talk to God. Amen. Lord have mercy. So you see, prayer is not just saying words to tell God. Amen. Prayer means ask. There's some things we need to ask God after we have heard him. I don't know how to pray to a God that knows all things. But if he tells me how to do it, I will. But my problem is, it's hard for me to hear when I don't understand or know anything about it. But I declare that when God speaks to your heart, you're going to know it's gone. Where am I going with this? So let's study 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 through 23. Amen? Amen. Now don't just say amen and don't do it. All right. I'm going to call your attention to Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. I hope you have your pencil and paper this morning. You're going to need to write some scriptures down in order to help you understand 1 Peter, verse 1 through 23. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Can we say amen? Amen. It reads, wherefore, that's the conclusion. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yes. For it is God which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Question. Are you born again? Now I know y'all tired of hearing me talking about born again. But I have to scratch the service here tonight. But I can't help it. That's what the Lord wants. Are you born again? You see, Peter was talking in 1 Peter. Peter was talking to those who are being born again. Amen.
Amen.
But before we go there, turn with me to Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 16. You need to write that scripture down. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 16. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. It's good to hear the pages turn. Amen. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 16 says, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. Amen. In other words, stop being a rebellious individual when God intervenes. Amen. Amen. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. Now, it says circumcise the skin of your heart. I can't do that. I've learned that I can't do that. But Jesus can.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Hold that. Now let's turn to Deuteronomy chapter 30.
All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 6.